So, if you're going to rely on your kicker as much as the Seahawks do, and listen, Jason Myers is the second highest paid kicker in the league. He makes north of $8 million, more than Justin Tucker, a little less than the Colts kicker. Then just aim to kick field goals every time you go down the field. If you're going to put that burden on him, a guy that went 7 for 7 last week, that went 4 for 4 in this game up until the last play, and account for the majority of your points, accounted for 10 out of the 16 points today, accounted for 17 of your points last week, then just forget your offense. Forget going and scoring touchdowns. Just let Jason Myers kick all your make all your points. The Rams beat the Seahawks today, 17-16, after they blow yet another lead. They blow in the second most leads this season after the Falcons, or maybe they're tied with the Falcons at this point. I think it's 8. They've blown 8 leads in the 10 games they've played. And it's the same pattern. It's the same pattern with this team. I mentioned it before. This team starts off by going down the field, scoring a touchdown. And then they do nothing in the middle of the game, and then they come and try to win it at the end. That is the MO of the Seahawks. And this is a team that went 5 for 15 on third down today, but all of those conversions came in the beginning and the end of the game. In the middle of the game, the Seahawks were 0 for 10 on third down. Let me repeat that. The Seahawks were 0 for 10 on third down. Now, what does this tell me? Up until this game, I've blamed Geno Smith for the maladies of the Seahawks. And after what we saw today, him coming back from an injury where he was rocked by Aaron Donald after Phil Haynes, by the way, again, offensive line, just letting Aaron Donald through, playing just one man on Aaron Donald. What the hell are you doing? I mean, if there's one guy in your conference you're going to double team, it's Aaron Donald. He gets rocked, he gets injured, and it's on his throwing elbow. And it looks like he's out for the game. But he ends up coming back on the last drive and leading you down the field as much as he can. And, you know, you ask Jason Myers to basically do everything for you. This guy, Jason Myers, started off the game making a 54-yarder, then made a 43-yarder, then made a 52-yarder, made multiple 50-yard kicks. And then at the end of the game, you're, again, asking him to make a 56-yarder. I mean, this guy can only do so much. Let me go back to the point, though. Listen, what is becoming apparent here is that the blame should be diverted from Geno Smith and this offense. And by that, I mean the players. The players show their value because when the plays are scripted in the first drive of the game and they go down and score, you see the talent of the offensive players. You see the talent of Geno and Metcalf and Lockett and JSN and Bobo and Charbonnet. And Ken Walker was playing well and he got injured. Get well soon, Ken Walker. And even the line most of the time. I think you have 3 of the 5 starters back now. I mean, we'll see what happens with this line. But what I'm trying to say is it's time to start having a conversation about Shane Waldron, the offensive coordinator. Because it seems like it's not a talent issue. That's what's becoming apparent here, because when it comes time for them to make the plays, they make the plays. Players have the talent to make the plays. But the situations that Shane Waldron is putting them in, passing on third and short, passing on fourth and short. Listen, I don't care that you are converting these. You need to be running on 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 4th and 1. You need to be running the ball. You have Charbonnet. Stop passing the ball. Stop putting it in, a lesser percentage play when you have the running back to get the job done in an easier way. Not only that, you are the team that will be known in infamy for not running it on short yardage. So between some of the weird screens, between just not scheming the players open, it's the opposite of what UW does. You have to scheme players open. And Shane Waldron is not doing that. He has those set plays that they do in the beginning of the game, and they have success with that, and they go down the field and score a touchdown. I mean, look how many times this has happened throughout the past 2 years with Waldron. And then the defense for the other team understands what you're doing. They adapt. You don't. There are no in-game adjustments. You rely on your scripted first drive and the clutchness of the clutchness and talent of your offensive players on the last drive. And that's it. I mean, what a freaking hack system you have going here, that you're losing to the 3-6 Rams on the precipice of playing the 3 best teams in the NFC here, one of them twice. It's time to have a conversation about Shane Waldron. I mean, the defense is not the problem here. The defense, again, held the Rams to 17 points. I mean, allowed 82 yards rushing. I mean, look at these lines here. Darrell Henderson, 6 carries, 1 yard. Zach Evans, 1 carry, 0 yards. Royce Freeman is the one that had a little bit of success, 17 rushes, 73 yards. Cooper Kupp went out of the game early. He only had 1 catch for 11 yards. He got injured. And, I mean, it was Puka Nacua, had 5 catches for 70 yards. But, I mean, these guys didn't do much. Demarcus Robinson, 2 for 24. Darrell Henderson, 4 for 28. I mean, even Tutu Atwell only caught 1 ball. Tyler Higbee only caught 1 ball. I mean, the defense is not the issue. How can you look at this team and say the defense is the issue? And this is what we've been saying. And that's what I said even after the Rams game, and they gave up 34, which the last 14 of those points were really to some of the second stringers on this defense. And the issue is not the defense. Witherspoon, another good game. 8 tackles, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, 1 pass defense, 1 QB hit. I mean, what a player. He's in contention for Defensive Player of the Year. Quandre Diggs. I think he's gotten a lot better as a tackler. He had 13 tackles today, and he lays the thump down. He's always there to clean up, the same way that Bobby Wagner is. And he had 10 tackles today, but Quandre Diggs is faster. So Julian Love had a bad pass interference on one of the first drives for the defense. It was really bad. It was like a 50-yard pass interference call, but tightened up the rest of the game. Had a pretty good game. Was playing in place of Jamal Adams, who apparently is just never healthy. Thought it Woolen had 2 passes defense, then he had an interception, but also he had a critical hands to the face penalty that bailed out the Rams, and that's the whole theme of this podcast today is bailing out the Rams, letting them off the hook. You had them dead to rights on 3rd and 15. Play was over. It was done. I think it was maybe Witherspoon or Trey Brown on the other side that had stopped the Rams from converting. And then on the whole other side of the field, Tariq Woolen was putting his hands in somebody's face, which is, for the life of me, I don't understand why you ever need to put your hands in somebody's face when the ball's not coming to them. So, cut that crap out, because it's been happening with Woolen for the past few games. So, other than that, Boye Mafe was good in spots. Did not get a sack in this one. He does not extend his streak, but he did bat down a ball, and that's all the stats he has to show in this game. That one batted ball. Didn't have a tackle, just one pass defense. Man. Only one sack on the day. That was Devin Witherspoon. Probably should be better there. But Stafford is good at getting the ball out and evading pressure. He's always been good at that. 6 passes defense, 3 QB hits. It was good enough. It was good enough to beat this 3-6 team. But I'm going to plant this, I don't know how much I can say it, but it's on Waldron. It's 100% on Waldron for you not to be able to score more than 16 points on this team, and in the middle of the game just not be able to scheme anything and not being able to adapt. Some other factors in this one, the refs took center stage. They called 130 yards worth of penalties on the Seahawks and 92 yards worth of penalties on the Rams. So you're talking about over 200 yards of penalties. So the refs had more yards than Geno Smith and Matt Stafford did. Of course, big part of this game is when Geno Smith left with an injury. Drew Lock came in, and if you don't already know, nobody wants to ever hear about Drew Lock becoming the starting quarterback of this team ever again. 2 for 6 for 3 yards and an interception. That's what he did with his 6 passes he had. He threw an interception, and he completed 2 passes that equaled 3 yards. So none of that anymore. Geno will be the guy until we draft a rookie. It's pathetic. It's pathetic that we can lose a game like this. It's on the coaching staff. The coaching staff is who will continue to draw my ire after Geno earned a lot of my and a lot of other people's respect. There is an understanding about the limits to one's ability, and I understand. Geno is playing to the best of his ability, and he's trying to level up, and he's adapting, he's adjusting, and that's what he did these past 2 games, and I commend him for that. But you cannot draw up plays that are just not going to work during the entire middle of the game. And by middle, I mean it's more than the middle. It's really like 95% of the game, other than the first and the last drive. This pattern cannot continue. It just cannot continue. Yeah. And that's it. I mean, it's a good thing I recorded this, about like an hour after the game ended, because it would have been a lot more profane if I did it right after. So, Shane Waldron is on notice. He should be. He should get a lot of pressure from the media this week, especially if the 49ers blow him out, which is definitely a possibility, a strong possibility. They are alone in first place in the NFC West now, a game ahead of us, a game ahead of the Seahawks. If I know the Seahawks, their MO is in these games in prime time, they usually come out to play, especially when they're playing at home. So while everything would tell me that the the Niners are going to win this by 20. I think it's going to be maybe like a 3-point game, and the Seahawks are going to get heartbroken again. I hope I'm wrong. I hope those Niner fans go to Seattle and ride that light rail, and everyone talks crap to them on the way to the game and when they're headed back to the airport. I really, really hope that happens. I know that we've been waiting to do that for a while. I remember those days in 2010, 2011, 2012, where those Niner fans would fly in and talk a lot of crap in the train stations and at the stadium, and they seem to be in a similar position now, and I think they're probably going to do the same. So I really, really hope we can just shove it down their throats. That's just a hope. That's going to take a Thanksgiving miracle. All right. I'm not going to speak anymore about this. Game is over. Hawks lose. They drop to 6-4. They have a gauntlet in the next 4 games, and then their last 3 games are going to be a little tougher than I anticipated because the Cardinals look a little better. The Steelers, for some reason, just stay competitive and win games, and the Titans, they seem to be maybe the easiest of the games, but you never know because they have a good defense and they're made for cold weather a lot of times. So there are no gimmies in the last 7 games. That'll do it for this one. Follow on all platforms, subscribe, share, comment. Really appreciate everyone for listening and tuning in. And have a great day, football fans.